What you trying to say? Because you keep on smacking your lips.
Hey guys, hey. I hit that button. We're back. Hope everyone is having a great Sunday. I see you popped in, Dolly, and hope everyone is having a great Sunday. I see you popped in. There we go. Because I put it on my YouTube, and then I have to mute one and play the other one. But yeah, I see Dolly has popped in and left her message. Hey Dolly, I don't know if you're still there or not, but thanks for stopping by. I know she usually will stop by and then she'll come back later on. But we're waiting for some more people to come in. Hope everyone is having a good Sunday today. Well, Wayne did give us some stuff to talk about this morning. I'm like, Wayne, if you don't stop rage baiting us, he is rage baiting us. Yeah, he's getting us early in the morning. It's like, Wayne, why you do that? Anthony know better. Y'all know better than to do this. You know better. But nah, here with this the skit that comes up in the morning. Well, as everyone comes in, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and help us stay in the algorithm. I see this. Well, okay, here you go. Hey, Juanita, how you doing? So I see I have a few in the that are sitting out there that are watching. If you could say good morning, if you could give me a couple likes, I'd appreciate it. Just trying to wait for one or two more to get in here so we can get started. Yeah, how Juanita, how's your good day going so far? Now this 12 o'clock hour, it's a good hour for me, but sometimes I feel like I'm rushing. But I don't know if no matter what time I scheduled this for, I probably would still be rushing. It's just the nature of the beast. I would always be rushing. Hey Keisha, how you doing? I'm doing good this morning. I'm doing good. I was able to, I still have to get up earlier in order to do these right because try to watch videos before I start the live so that I can be prepared for our discussions, especially for new things that are happening on the videos. I want to watch them before because I know those are the things, and I already know what our first subject will be, and that may be our only subject because I've already done my video on that particular on those skits. This was crazy this morning. That doggone Wayne. But also, what I did this morning was I just did a video on the Daltons and their marriage. And it wasn't like one of these videos that went deep dive, and it was just my thoughts of what happened and what has happened in this marriage, and how I don't understand how I see people saying that they should be together. And I don't understand it because when I think back, yeah, they are Juanita. When I think back about the Daltons' marriage and not the whole, and even not even the whole entire marriage, just this last part, well, if we say quarter or third, because I don't know how many times they go back and forth. Hey, Dolly, good afternoon. Thanks for leaving that message to start us off this morning. But yeah, so when I think back to there and my videos out there of this last time when Anthony, well, as Dante says, when he came back and cooked that dry salmon and she left the door open, that from that point to this point, this is not a good marriage. There was no way. We talked about deception and we talked about a lot of things, and we go all the way back to the engagement and all that. Child, I don't know either, but I'm gonna come to that, Juanita. But yeah, so we go back, but I thought about the fact that after they did their last vow renewal, and they said that they were going to start with a clean slate, and Amber came clean and said that Dalen had tried to kiss her a year prior. Okay, so and then Anthony, he derailed all that good feeling for the marriage. But Anthony never came clean and told Amber the reason that he came back was because he was trying to protect his assets. So to me, that was a big deception because you came back deceiving this woman, thinking that you wanted to be with her, that you're in love with her, and you're not in love with her. Not really. You only wanted to be there because of your money. You didn't want to be there for anything else because that woman put 50% on that paper and you weren't having it. So you were you came clean to Shayla and told her why you went back to Amber, and one of those times where you were trying to get with Shayla, but you didn't want to be with Amber. And I think, good morning, Angela. And I think the real thing, the test is that after that particular point of him constantly telling Shayla that he was in love with her, they had the family day and they did all those things. He hated Amber. And I can say he hated Amber because of the way he was treating her and the way he talked to her. You don't talk to a person that you love like that. And that's my stance on my video. So no, they shouldn't be together. They should be divorced. And I hope Wayne hurry up and get it done. Hey, Angela. Dolly says a clean slate meant Anthony accepting accountability because Anthony was with Shayla up to when he came back to Amber. But yeah, even that part, he didn't do that. And he didn't tell her. Do we not think the clean slate was also that the reason I came back to you was because I want to protect my assets? And that's the only reason that he's sitting in that office, in that house? Is that a clean slate? No, it's not. So automatically there was deception built in, and it was deception once again. So she deceived him on the very front end, which he had the opportunity to get out. And everybody said, well, he wouldn't have never married her. He probably would not have married her, but he had several opportunities to get out of it. His reason for not getting out is because he wants to save his assets. And he's seeing now what saving the money means because she using up your money. Thanks, Angela. She said, yeah, true, Miss B. Juanita speaking to Angela and Betty. Dolly speaking to Keisha. And Angela said, I believe Anthony just using Big Kai to get to Amber and Shayla. He probably is. So now this morning, what y'all think about Anthony? Yeah, he did marry her. Hey, Antoinette, how you doing? He married her and he stayed married to her. But he didn't stay married to her these last times because he's in love with her. He only stayed married to her because he didn't want to give out any money. If Amber would have came out and said, "Oh, I want 10% or whatever," or gave him a dollar figure, $2 million, he would have been more than happy to give it up and let her go. But he wasn't. Who is that? Antoinette said Anthony was wrong for bringing somebody else's child to his kid's mother's house. Yes, he was. That was the most, I don't even know what you call it. It was crazy. I'm like, number one, you didn't talk to Shayla and tell her that you were going, or even advise her or ask her if it was okay for you to bring this other woman's child to her house to pick up car. Did you tell Denisha that you were taking her child to Shayla's house to pick up car? Because the mother Denisha seems to be, I don't think she would have agreed to let her son go into Shayla's house. Good morning, Lioness. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I didn't thank everybody for stopping by, but thank you guys for stopping by and joining me today. Um, Dolly says Anthony could have annulled the marriage when he found out about Wayne and he chose to stay with her to justify what he had started with Shayla. True, he could have annulled it based on deception. Yeah, fraud, deception, or whatever. He could have done it, but he didn't. And he kept going back and renewing these vows that are empty, these empty vows. But then we have people that are like, oh, well, this is God ordained. Is God really ordaining this marriage? Is this something that God put together for two people that have been totally deceptive with each other? He's just as deceptive as she is. And that's why they need to be going away from each other, because that's where the stuff started happening, where it started getting like uncontrollable and abusive and stuff like that, because they don't like each other. They didn't like each other at all. By the time Amber left that house, it was dangerous for her to be in that house. Yeah, Juanita said Big Kai felt some type of way and is going to tell his mom. Yeah, he is, because especially when they went in that bedroom and they were raising their voices. Yeah, he heard that. That boy not stupid. He's 13. He knows. He understands. Anthony did not tell Denisha that that's what his plan was. He didn't, or she wouldn't have agreed to it. I'm sure she would not have agreed to that. So Keisha said it was irresponsible of Anthony to bring Big Kai with him. He had to have known Shayla, how Shayla would react. This shows he doesn't make good decisions. Ain't that right? Anthony said, now Denise's son gonna go back and tell her what went down. Yeah. And she's gonna think, hopefully, she will think twice about Anthony with her son and keep putting it, because he put him in a dangerous situation. Angela says, I feel sorry for Big Kai. He didn't deserve any of that. And he looked so innocent and caught in that mess. He does. And it keeps weighing on my heart that they're putting this boy in these situations. They're putting him in situations that he shouldn't be in. Dolly says Anthony should have called Shayla before coming to the house with that child. No, he should have cleared it, Shayla, which means that he should have talked to Shayla well before he was going to come to that house. And then he should have also talked to Denisha. And I bet he didn't talk to Denisha either, because I'm thinking that she got enough sense. She seems to have enough sense that she didn't want her her child to be in that situation. Angela said Anthony did not want big guy to hear Shayla, going off on him and bring it back to Denisha. No, he didn't, but they should have stayed outside. He walked away, and he knows Shayla is not the you walk away from me and I'm gonna stop argument type. Shayla's gonna keep pushing. Lioness says Coca needs to come for a visit again. Did Amber meet with Coca yet? Not that I know of, but you know what? Coca can't change Anthony's mind because Anthony doing what he wants to do. And Keisha says he could have brought little Kai to the mansion and then picked up big Kai. He didn't need to create all that chaos, but again, this is chaos city. So yeah, he could have done it a different way. Angela says, I would not ask Amber to go back to that house. Thank you, because a lot of people keep saying, Amber, it's time to go home. What's she going home for? Y'all want her to go home and go get some more clothes? Because other than that, catching Denisha in that house, you want the drama without having the drama is what's happening. We want the drama, but we really don't want the drama. We want her to catch Denisha and we want her to know that Denisha is living in that house. But it will be revealed. We don't have to, it will be revealed. The Shayla about getting Shayla gonna find out and she will tell Amber. Dolly says people have to call me before coming to my private space and let me know who's coming with them. It's usually, yeah, that's just how people do nowadays. Back in the day, people would come to your house, they would stop by because it was a different type of community. And they'd come and say, hey, I got such and such with me, if they know you rock with that person. But nowadays, it's like, you got to tell me ahead of time who you bring into my house. And you usually not going to anybody's house unless they've said okay, because most of the time you might not get in some people's house. You don't just drop by anymore because you might not get in. Angela said, and Anthony's moving reckless to prove a point. I don't know what point he's trying to prove, because that was a dangerous one. Dolly's like, I'm with Facebook saying they skip Anthony. They skip Anthony and Denisha's skits. Yeah, but for things like this, even though people don't like them and you skip them, you need the background. So if you're gonna cover most of this stuff as a commentator, I need the background. So I will watch them because I want to see how they're doing this relationship or whatever situationship or whatever it is that they got going on. Angela says Denisha needs to protect her son from Anthony because Anthony is unstable. Yeah, that move proved it. Alexis, stop that. Amber's not going to break that boy TV. Why is she going over there to break the boy TV? That would just be mean. And I don't um I don't take Amber to be that vindictive. Why would she do that to a child? She wouldn't want anybody to do it to her child. Dolly says, right, Miss B, that's what meant, and Anthony should have discussed it with Shayla and Denisha. Oh yeah. Hey, Hope, happy Sunday to you also. And Juanita said, I think Anthony loves chaos. Oh, doesn't he? And he thinks he's right. And see, to me, Shayla, he didn't say he was taking Kai to his house. Now, if he takes Kai to his house, he's wrong again. Because we needed to see, and y'all know we need to see that skit where Denisha and Shayla have to talk and agree to have Kai over at that house. Because Denisha may not want to watch Kai. She's not Amber. Her and Shayla don't have any kind of relationship or background. So no, you can't take that boy over there. Anthony, you done lost your mind. And hopefully if he did something like that, Denisha will go back to her apartment and tell him to call her when he settles that divorce. Hey, Trap Star, thanks for stopping by. Anthony, she says, Anthony is wrong and getting away with too much. He knew what would happen. He played with Big Kai's emotions this morning for his personal vendetta. Yeah, he did. And that was so wrong. They keep putting Kai into these situations that he shouldn't be in. That boy should not be in this situation. And Trapstar said Amber never needs to go back to that house. I agree. She can go back and pick up some stuff that she left there, but make sure Anthony and them not there. And then that's when you get the police escort to go with you to pick up your things. And Dolly says, that's what I meant. Anthony handled it the wrong way. Okay, Dart. I understand what you meant. He did do it the wrong way. Lioness said Amber don't need to go back to the house waiting for Amber attorney to make her move. Well, technically she's already moved. Oh, Hope says Anthony has no coup. Well, Keisha, these are things that happen when you let Anthony leave. Well, Denisha gonna have to step up and let this and lead this man around. Really, she's going to have to. And Juanita's saying good morning to Hope, Alexis, and Lioness. Trapstar says Shayla can go pick up her Kai and find out Denisha lives there and Big Kai has a room. Amber doesn't need to go back there. Yeah. I think everybody wants to do that so that Amber will know what's going on in the house, but it shouldn't matter. A lot of it shouldn't matter. She knows she's not there anymore. She probably really didn't want the house to begin with. I wouldn't want to be in that house. But Shayla, I don't think he's taking Kai to his house to stay. If he is, that's another wrong move for Anthony. Angela Atkins says Anthony knows how Shayla is. He should have never tried to put that child in Shayla's face, knowing that Shayla doesn't care what she says anything in front of anybody. Yeah. And when they went in that room, it was just like they were still in the living room because you heard every word. And the boy, he heard every word. So he can go back and repeat it verbatim to his mother. Trapstar says Anthony didn't care about Kai's feeling, about Big Kai's feeling. He's out of control. He is. And Dolly says it wouldn't make sense for Amber to go back and expose herself to that negative aura and energy in the house. Well, y'all tell some of those people that are y'all go out on in the comments in the Country Wayne on the Country Wayne skits and tell those people out there that Amber does not need to go back to that house because there's so many people out there telling Amber it's time to go home. Like, why are we sending her back? Why are we sending her home? And I don't understand what they mean. I think they're meaning because they want her to know that he's moved the woman into the house. She already knows he's made it uncomfortable for her to be there, and that's enough. Dolly says, I understand why you watch Miss B. Yeah, Dolly, that's why I watch. Sometimes we don't always, but I kind of do watch. I mean, I'm not, most of the stories, I'm just not like overly invested in any of them. So I just try to watch it from the point of view of somebody who's supposed to be neutral. Because when you start to me, when you start taking sides, you're no longer a neutral party and watch it. Just like a reporter, they're not supposed to be biased in the stories that they're covering, but every once in a while you do. And the one thing that bothers me with this Anthony and Denisha is the fact that they got Big Kai involved, because he is a child, and because you're exposing him to something that is on its face is temporary. I don't know if it's ever gonna last. I don't know how they're gonna do the skits, but on its face, it's temporary. This is a temporary environment, a temporary situation, and your child. No, I'm busy. I'm sorry, God. No, wait. You do it.
I need you to do this for
Your
me.
mother's upstairs.
Do it.
Bye. I'm sorry. He think he can force me to do anything he wants. Like he wants me to, because he don't know how to get the water out of the refrigerator properly without spilling water all over the place. Yeah, but Big Kai being in this situation is the one thing that truly bothers me. Anthony and Denisha and all that stuff, that's skit. But that boy being involved, I don't like that at all. She should have sent him to her cousin, her aunt, or whoever he was supposed to go to while they keep, living how they were living. But yeah, he shouldn't be there. And Keisha says, I usually skit, Anthony skits as well, but I wanted to see how Shayla was going to react. Well, we already know who is Shayla, but Shayla. Angela says he brought Kai to set off Amber and Shayla. Well, I mean, Amber wouldn't see him, but yeah, to set off Shayla and Sunita is saying, hey, Dolly and Sunita, thanks for stopping by. And Angela saying, hey. And Sunita says, look how the little boy is looked when he heard them in the room. Yeah, basically because he heard everything they said. And it just wasn't good. He felt like of course he felt like he didn't belong there. And then like she didn't want him there, and ain't no telling how he was feeling. Juanita saying hey to Trap Star. Sunita saying hey to Angela. And Dolly says Anthony did use both Kais for his own selfish advantage. He did. And Sunita says, I know Anthony was a fool, but not this fool. Yeah, not that kind of fool, huh? Yeah, he's a fool. Dolly saying afternoon. Angela says, all I can say is Anthony needs help because he's out of control. Yes, he is. And he can be okay. I'm okay with him going to find him another woman and getting with Denisha. That's on him. And truth be told, we know that that's his type, that she is his type. Because when we met Anthony, he was a man who frequents the strip club. And we're quite sure that he dated women who worked at the strip club. And we know he was with Chantel because she was a stripper. And she told him that she was pregnant with his child. So we know that that's what type of woman that he was interested in anyway. So we know that's not far-fetched for him to be with Denisha, even though she was not a stripper at the time and she was changing her life, and she changed her life. we know what kind of woman that Anthony likes. And he was out, fish out of water with Amber, Shayla, and Ro. He was a fish out of water. Lioness is saying hello. Dolly saying hello. And Sunita said, them kids are going to be hurt. Yes, they will. And Trap Star saying, Anthony is using Denisha and her son to get back at Amber and Shayla for turning him down. Anthony don't want, he don't want Amber. He wants Shayla, but he don't want Amber. He didn't want Amber at all. And Sunita says Anthony is happy and has a family and in love. So let Amber go. That's what I say. Just let the woman go. You want to punish her. It's just somebody who just he wants to punish her. And that's what this whole marriage from the time she, as everybody says, from the time she left that door open until now, that whole marriage has been about punishing Amber and for Wayne, for what she did with Wayne. And you go all the way back there, but you have been deceptive, deceiving her also, as to even the fact that you claimed you loved her and you really didn't. And it showed, and that was why she was leaving. Dolly saying afternoon. Hope is saying what Amber won't have to do anything after all. Shayla is going to set it off for her and her mama Angelina. Yeah, Amber don't have she can let Shayla and Angelina handle that, but Angelina got her hands full. So she needs not to go over there trying to set Anthony off because Brody over here with this other woman too. So and Sunita says, we don't like Shayla, but Anthony is wrong to bring that little boy to Shayla's house. This is true. Angela says, Tamara told Denisha that Anthony's life was messy. She said, what they have with her now, she knows what they have to do because it's her son involved. I, I kind of hope Denisha wakes up, especially when she finds out what happened and that she checked him for being called a name by Shayla. Check him for taking her son over to Shayla's house after Shayla called her that name. Really, Anthony. Angela said Amber is so peaceful and happy. We hope she stays that way for a little while because we know it's not going to be that way forever. And Dolly says when Amber told her lawyer Anthony had someone there, the lawyer said she would handle it. I guess so. The lawyer may have a private detective or somebody, and she may be able to find out what's going on because they can watch the house. They'll know that that she's there. Amber needs to take her lawyer and get a new place. Just move out of Dave's house until the divorce ends. Well, she already in Dave's house now, so going back to try to correct your mistake really doesn't matter because you've already done it. Unless she wants to do it for her own sanity and for her own self, just to have her own, I could see her moving, but she's over there now. She's already made the mistake, or she's already living in a way that she shouldn't. Hope says Misty Amber can have that woman evicted from her home. That's why I wanted her to go home, assess the situation, and take matters at hand to handle your business, Amber. But what good is she going to get out of evicting? Well, an eviction takes about 45 days because you have to go down to the courthouse and file the paperwork. And then they have to get the sheriff out and all that stuff to get her to get evicted. It's just not like overnight. So What good would that vengeful act satisfy Amber's flesh? What would it do for Amber? Because Dave told her not to stop operating in her emotion, and to do something like that, that's an emotional move, and she doesn't need to move that way because her attorney said she'd handle it. So hopefully her attorney has she can contact her attorney and see if they hired a private detective or something to see what's going on. But that's a totally emotional move, and she shouldn't be moving in her emotions. Dolly says those children shouldn't have been involved in another chaos. Hey. And Sanita says Anthony and Denisha is putting the child in the mess. They are. They put him in when they moved him in. She shouldn't have brought him to Anthony's house. I know that. Sanita said Anthony's a big clown. Yeah, I've seen that clown face on Anthony quite a bit. Dolly says those children shouldn't have been involved. No, they should not. Anthony is too much. He's being Anthony. Hey Nanya, she's saying good morning to everybody. And Dolly says Anthony created a circus at Shayla's house. Man, so Anthony's a little boy. He's trying. He's acting like one. I can't pronounce your name, Miss Anderson, so I don't want to mess it up. Thanks for being a member, number one. Yay! Got my first member in the chat. And I see Nanya is also a member, a channel member. So if you want to go to be a member, when you start chatting, your name will come up in green. So she says that's why I believe Denisha and and Anthony won't last because Anthony is involving a single mother and her child into his foolishness. Amber could leave Dave with the clean slate, or they could last. Yeah, it's a mess. And Dolly says viewers know Shayla will call Amber and Angelina and tell them what Anthony did. I don't know. May Shayla may. She might call Amber. But sometimes Shayla likes to keep little secrets for herself. So she'll definitely tell Angelina, but she may not tell Amber. And Angelina will probably tell her not to tell Amber because Angelina's goal is to get Anthony. So she doesn't want Amber to have any more ammunition against Anthony than she needs. So I don't think Angelina would be telling Shayla to tell Amber, but definitely Shayla will tell Angelina. Angela says now Amber's lawyer needs to prove people wrong that she's working and say she has a plan to see if it's working. Ooh, I don't know if that's going to ever happen. Her lioness said hey to Nanya. And Nanya says Shayla's going to set it off. Wonder if Shayla will tell Amber. That's what I was saying. I don't know. If she goes to Angelina first, Angelina is going to tell her, don't tell Amber. Because she doesn't, how can I put it? Angelina, all these A's. Angelina doesn't want Amber to have enough ammunition to get even more money from Anthony because they see that money as Shayla and Kai's money. So she's not going to agree so much to giving Amber too much ammunition against Anthony. Sunita says, "Oh Anthony, oh Anthony, oh Anthony, God go with you." Like, oh Anthony, oh Anthony, oh Anthony. Yeah, man. Nanya speaking to Lioness. Angela says Anthony knows Shayla gonna tell Amber. I don't know. She might. And Dolly speaking to Sunita. Sunita said, "We're happy for Anthony. We just want the divorce." Hey, that's all I want. I want Denisha to push him to get the divorce. Anthony can stay with his fake family. Just set Amber free. Yeah. And Nanya says, I believe Atlanta seeing Amber and Dave together sent him over the edge. Oh, it did. It definitely did because he kicked his whole relationship with Denisha into high gear after he saw that. But my thing is, why are you concerned about, you're concerned that Amber had moved on, but you didn't really want Amber. You didn't really want her. You couldn't stand Amber. You didn't like her. You didn't want it. You wanted to inflict as much pain against her as possible, which was evident in your interactions with her every single day. But when you seen she had a man that was comparable to you and comparable to Wayne, that's when it bothered you. If she would have pulled up with some young man that you think didn't really have nothing, Anthony wouldn't have been bothered at all. But that man, he saw that she was able to pull another man that was comparable. That's why they threw that thing out. You go from mansion to mansion to mansion. Well, if that's who she is, it's like your other women go from mansion to mansion to mansion. They not downgrading. Why should Amber? Dolly says, we were told growing up about something. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. Yeah, it's true. And still, Angela said, new skit, Sky told, yeah, he told Denisha, and the next skit should be Denisha checking Anthony. Hey, I'm gonna call her Tierra. Okay, I think that's your name, Tierra. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, thanks for joining the membership. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sunita says Anthony has a little family and he's happy and he's in love. So let Amber go be happy for Anthony. We just need him to let go. That's all. I want Denisha to check him big time. The issue is Anthony wants to still control Amber and Shayla. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to. You might be able to go back and control Shayla after Iman don't come back no more. Dolly says it's coming from Angelina 5421. Well, Angelina got her own battle. She ain't been had she don't know. Her little friend that used to work with her is with her man. So why do they keep doing this? This well, and that was an old friend had been with Brody, and I think she has Brody's child. I think she told Brody that she didn't have that baby, but she done had that baby. She had the baby. She got Brody's child, and this child is gonna pop up, and then Anthony's gonna have a child that pops up. All these they're gonna pop up children is gonna be a mess. These kids, we're gonna have children popping up out of the left and right. Dolly says Tamara was right because Anthony thrives on being messy. Well, she clocked him. Sunita says Anthony, as is a little family, he's happy. Oh, okay, it's like just need to let Amber go. Dolly says the issue is Anthony he still wants to control. Did I read all those before? y'all posting them back in there again. Cause I'm like, wait a minute, or did I read them and I didn't? Okay, looks like they're doubling up. Tiara says she agrees with you, Nanya, and you said thank you. And Dolly says Anthony's supposed to be the adult. However, that was reckless. Yes, it was. And the lawyer also told her to stay calm. That's what I'm saying. There's no reason for her to go back to that house and see anything or try to kick anybody out the house. Stay calm. Divorce your emotions for a little while. Lioness says little Kai should not be going to that house. I'm hoping he did not take little Kai to that house. But if Big Kai is back, is little Kai there? Because that's another. Anthony just a walking red flag. He got how many flags do they fly around the United Nations? That's how many flags Anthony got around him. If he took that boy back to his house. Dolly saying afternoon to Nanya. Nanya says Anthony will face a huge financial penalty for disturbing Amber's peace and her marital home. Yeah. Now that, yeah. And Nanya's waving and sending out love. And Alexa said Denisha is irritated. I'm sure she should be irritated. Nanya says, have a great Sunday, everyone. She's probably on her way to church. You have a good day, Nanya, and they're gonna miss you, but you know that whenever you hit that live button, everybody will be right there to support you. But have a good day and enjoy your husband and enjoy the church service. Dolly says, I hope Amber keeps protecting her peace with Anthony and not allow Anthony to disturb it. And Lioness is saying, enjoy your Sunday. To Nanya, Dollar says that's the thing to do, what you choose to do. Anthony just gave Amber complete freedom. Well, I mean, he still got to sign the papers, but Dolly says it's a catch 22 for Amber. With Amber, she's doomed if you do and doomed if you don't. I don't think she's doomed. I just think that she's not really doomed. She doesn't have to go back to that house because it's not a safe environment for her. That house became unsafe for Amber the day, it was a while back. The first time she actually stayed away from that house with Dave, that house became dangerous to her. There was one day that Anthony was trying to force her into being intimate with him. And he kept kind of trying to rub up on her and kept trying to rub up on her. That is the day that that house became unsafe for Amber to be in it. I would not have, that was the day that she was supposed to leave that house and not come back. She should have told her attorney then that the house, it was uncomfortable and it was unsafe because of the advances that he was making on her and because he was coming down into the room that she was occupying and sleeping in her bed unwanted and making advances toward her. That's when the house became unsafe. Everything else didn't matter, but that is the time that it became unsafe because there are a lot of men that are in that situation and they may try to force themselves upon you. And that makes it, of course, unsafe. But there are men that would do that. Of course, they're not going to go that far in the skits, but they went far enough to me to show me that it was unsafe for her to be there and she should have left. because even the room that she decided to sleep in was no longer safe from Anthony because he had brought himself down there to that room and decided he was going to sleep in the bed with her. That was unsafe. Dolly saying hey to Trap Star, and Angela saying Baby Kai was not receptive to Denisha. He was asking for Mommy Amber. Yeah, Anthony, you're a clown. Somebody put a clown face all over Anthony. And he did not tell Shayla that he was taking Kai to his house with Shayla. Go get Angelina and Zachary and y'all pull up. Because Zachary a ride. Zachary's a ride or die. Zachary will have your back. When it comes to her nephew, Zachary will be there. Go get Angelina and Zash and ride up. Y'all don't even have to tell Amber. You could tell her afterwards. But go get them and ride, pull up on Anthony. And don't do anything to Denisha. Don't even say nothing to Denisha. This is Anthony. We need to be in the backyard near the pool. Sunita said Anthony's gonna fall so hard, only God can help him, and that's when he's gonna learn. Do we think he's even gonna go to God? Because he thinks he's right now. Anita says, I believe this will blow up in Anthony's face. No, I didn't see it because I've been on here. But you know what? From what y'all telling me, Shayla needs to find out. She needs to get Angela. I said Angelina and Zachary and pull up. Zachary already don't like him, and Zachary look like she'll pull the hair back, put the hair up in a ponytail, and put on her gym shoes and go for it. Zachary looks like a fighter. Oh, and Dolly said Jose's mom asked her, did she tell Brody yet? And it possibly is about a child for Brody. That's what I believe. But hey, Idris is like, thank you. She's saying hey to us and the chatters. But yeah, I believe that Jose had a baby for Brody. That's why she went into hide. I think she told Brody that she miscarried or something, but that's not true. He got a child out there someplace. And Keisha said he did. He took him to the big house. Lord have mercy. Anthony. Wayne, where is your brain? You wouldn't want somebody to do that to who is Wayne's youngest, Honest. You wouldn't want Gina to be taken Honest to her new man's house unannounced, not telling you or anything. You would not accept, as a father, you would never accept that, Wayne. So why are you writing it into these skits? I understand drama and stuff, but you could have wrote the drama to be that you were trying to get Shayla and Denisha to work together so that you could have Kai at your house. But to just go do it, that is wild work. That is truly wild work. Wayne, why would you write something in these skits or let somebody write something into this skit that you would never accept with your own children? You wouldn't accept it. So Denisha went to Anthony thinking her life was going to be smooth sailing. No, Tamara told her life wasn't going to be smooth sailing. She warned her ahead of time. So it was up to Denisha to say, okay, well, I'm down for whatever. And she's down for whatever now. Dolly said, Miss B, I said yesterday that Trey would stand Ernestine up, and he did. Trey is a baby. He's a little baby. And he's out there. He trying to please two women. So now he got Miss Johnson's mother wanting to come over to the house. So he's gonna have to figure out when Ernestine is not there, and he doesn't have access anymore to get inside the house. So he can only take them outside around. Ernestine, leave that baby alone. Angela says, yes, Miss B, baby Kai at the mansion. Lord have mercy. And Dolly sent hello to Iris. Sunita says, I want Kai to tell Denisha everything that happened this morning at Shayla's house. Oh, I hope he tells her too, because it's a mess. Could somebody give me a count of what we got? How many? I see we got 20 people watching. How many likes do we have? Because my other thing, we're okay, 18. Not bad, not bad at all. We're doing pretty good. So if you haven't liked yet and you're out there in them bushes paying attention and listening to her, just listening to us, just go ahead and hit the like button. It won't expose you. It just helps me with the algorithm. That's all. Sunita said, I want Kyle could tell everything. Dolly's telling Ananya to enjoy her day. Denisha thinks she found gold over here and she's gonna be sorry. She done found some what they make pennies out of, copper. Sunita said, "Poom poom and money blind Anthony's eyes, so he can't see what's in front of him." Mm-hmm. Dolly says, I meant if Amber goes back to the house, she's doomed because Anthony will antagonize her, and staying away, she's doomed because Anthony still does things toward her. Yeah, she is, but going back to the house, he can do anything he wants toward her, like what he's doing now. It's not, technically, he's not hurting Amber with having Denisha over there and all this stuff with his new little made up family. That's not hurting Amber at all. It seems like it might be hurting, but it's not really hurting Amber because Amber's not aware of it and it's not doing anything to her. It's hurting him because he has to live out the pain. He's living the pain that he's trying to inflict on Amber. And then he's inflicting pain. He'll be starting to inflict pain on Denisha. That's what's going to happen. Angela says, poor Big Kai. He says, Shayla said he didn't belong there. True, he didn't. You didn't, boy. You did not. And your mother knows you did not. So Kai is confused seeing Denisha in that house because children get confused when new people come into their lives. I've seen it happen. It is true. That's true. Angela says Anthony does not realize what he's doing to both Kais. He's selfish. But one thing about baby Kai is not old enough to understand what's going on. He may feel, but he's been feeling that negative energy forever. But um yeah, he's been feeling that negative energy forever because there's always been negative energy between Shayla and Anthony. But Big Kai actually understands what's going on, man. So Shayla needs to call Tamara and pull up at Anthony's house. No, she don't need Tamara. She needs Angelina and Zachary. That's who needs. She needs her family to come have her back. Because Tamara is in the middle. So I wouldn't, if Tamara, that's Denisha's friend and that's Shayla's friend. So Tamara's in the middle. She needs her family, her people to go pull up on Anthony. And Dolly says, why other children and skits have to be exposed to the drama? So a whole lot of kids being exposed to all the drama, but that's how we some a lot of times that's how we live our lives. Also, we expose our children to drama. Keisha says Big Kai doesn't understand that Anthony was wrong for just popping up to Shayla's house without telling her what was going on. It looks like Denisha doesn't think Anthony was wrong. Anisha, have you lost where your I don't think that money in that thing has has clouded your memory and your mind. And Linus, I agree with you about Wayne. Yeah, because Wayne wouldn't let nobody do that to his children. Keisha says Anthony didn't realize how it affected Big Kai. He's in his own bubble. He really is. Dolly said Trey has the mind of a teenager in an adult body. He does. He is like, oh, Shireen, hello. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I thank all of you for stopping by and joining us. I try to do I try to do lives every Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 2. So you can join us again next week. Next weekend we do brunch. Uh she says that's her fault. She should have never brought her son into that man's house. That is true. Dolly says 19 likes, 20 people. Thank you, Dolly. Yeah, you answering me about that copper penny. Yeah, that's what Denisha found at that house. Shireen says, well, if something happens to Anthony, that girl's getting kicked out with her son. Yeah, she is. If Anthony loses that house, she getting kicked out with her son. Truth be told, we don't know if Anthony might lose the house. He may give up the house and keep some money. Who knows? We don't know what would happen. Sunita says Denisha is looking like this now. She brings her son in, so she should be laughing and say away. No, she shouldn't be laughing. She did that. Anthony subjected Ting Kai to this foolery. Yeah. And see what he gonna tell his grandmother. Hmm. And her mother approves of this relationship. Sunita says, like Kai want Amber, he's looking for a man. Well, yeah, he's wanted a man. Tiring. I'd mess up a person's name. I'm sorry if I'm messing up these names. Denisha bring a child in this mess with no help to her. Tell her that. Yeah, it's definitely on Denisha bringing her child into that mess. Serene says, we understand Anthony is crazy, but the girl should know better to bring her child into a messy situation. It's true. She was going to take her child to her aunt's house or something, and he's like, oh no, bring him with you. No, I don't care what you say. I'm not going to bring him to your house. We don't even know each other that good. So I'm going to bring him to your house, and what if we don't work out in 2 weeks? Then I've subjected to him to something that he shouldn't be in. No. Juanita says she don't need nothing to say Shayla, but she needs to check Anthony for putting her son in that situation. Yeah, she doesn't have anything to say to Shayla. She has something to say to Anthony, just like Shayla has something to say to Anthony. And Dolly says, little Kai is in his impressionable years, and Amber has a good impression on little Kai. Yeah, he does. And see, Kai doesn't understand. The last time he was in that house, Amber was in that house. So he's looking for Amber. And he don't know nothing about no other woman. And Sunita says, Denisha put this child in this mess. She did. Alexis, baby Kai missing Amber. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, he's probably walking around the house calling for Amber. Dolly says, Wayne tell Anthony on the phone that he could lose that house to Amber. Oh, now you telling him what he could lose? You should be telling him all along. It's Anita over there laughing. Angela says, true, Alexis. He misses Amber. Yep, because he's not used to being in that house without Amber. And Sunita says, Denisha always leave the child at the grandma house. Well, yeah, she does. And Angela, I think she leaves her. I think she has a aunt that lives nearby or something. I forget. She said her mother lives in Louisville, so I don't think he goes back and forth there all the time. She has somebody else that's closer. But she should have sent him to Louisville for the rest of the summer so that he's not involved in this at all. He don't have to get to know Anthony or anything until something more solid occurs. Angela says Denisha let money cloud her judgment. It's looking like that, huh? Dolly says Erica set up a date on the phone in front of D for tonight with the client that no longer wants to be a client. Oh Lord. D get on my nerve a lot of times. And Tanita said, yes, Angela. Hey Kenyatta. Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon. Thanks for stopping by. And Angela speaking to Kenyatta. Kenyatta speaking to Angela. Oops, I am caught up to the chat. Y'all slow down. Dolly said in little Kai's eyes, Amber should be in that house. Yeah. Miss Anita said, Kai, your mommy being being dismissed to you. Kai, yeah. Oh, Angela said Kai's asking for mommy, but Anthony thinks Kai is talking about Shayla. But as Amber, he's asking for Anthony is clueless. Yeah, because mommy is always in that house when he comes. If mommy doesn't meet him at the door, she is there someplace when he comes to that house. Oh Lord. Juanita is speaking and Kenyatta is speaking back, and Sunita says Kai is asking for Amber, not Shayla. Because Kai is like, you, oh, I know this, like here, this is like tearing up. I'm sure the views on this one are high. So what Wayne did, people are not watching the skits for Anthony and Denisha. They weren't getting good views. And like I told y'all yesterday, Wayne is doing what did I call it? Rage. He's rage baiting. he's he's forcing people to. He's getting people to watch these skits with them to by involving these children, and that putting baby Kai and big Kai together, and then taking that baby to his house with Denisha, knowing that people are going to be upset about that, and they will click on it just to see what happened, even though they're going to be upset. And people were upset to see Big Kai at Shayla's house and the way Shayla went off. So yeah, he's rage baiting us. That's all he's doing is rage baiting us at this point to watch some of the Anthony and Denisha skits. And he has to have Denisha behaving in a way that she's seeming like she's acceptable of Anthony taking her son to Shayla's house unwanted and then bringing the baby back to the house where did she agree that she was going to watch this child, and she knows that she's a baby mama, and she know baby mamas or just mothers period do not want their children in spaces with women that they do not like. So if I don't like you, I don't want my child in your presence because you don't like me and I don't like you, and you could be that spiteful that you might do something to my child. That was why Shayla was so hesitant about Amber even being near Kai, because she felt like Amber may have been so spiteful that she would do something to Kai, and she didn't want Amber to do anything to her child. Now, all of a sudden, Anthony, you think it's okay, knowing that Shayla called that woman a woman of the street, a streetwalker, that she wants that woman near her child. Really, Anthony and Wayne? Really? But I'll get off my soapbox for a minute because this is like he is rage baiting us to the fullest. That's all he's doing. It's not even clickbait, it's rage bait. It's getting people enraged at the situation so that they could watch. But that's what he's doing. He's trying to drive up the Anthony and Denisha's viewership. And that's how they're trying to do it, by involving these children. And these children are innocent. Juanita says Anthony knows who Kai is talking about. And Dolly says, go figures, Anthony's always clueless. That man can't be that clueless. Kenyatta says, I'm sick of Shayla. She's so annoying and self-righteous. Everybody is supposed to now to bow down to her. In this particular instance, Kenyatta, Shayla is correct. Shayla is right. You don't bring that child to my house of a woman that I don't like. Did she agree to have him at my house? Same thing with bringing. It's not good because either way, I don't like you and you don't like me. Our children shouldn't be in each other's presence at this point. We're not co-parenting. There's no co-parenting relationship between Shayla and Denisha. The co-parenting relationship is between Amber and Shayla. And they've worked out their co-parenting relationship. And it took a little while for them to work that out. If we remember, Shayla did not want Kai near Amber at all. And Dolly says, sometimes I think Anthony act like he doesn't know something when he does, and he just doesn't care. I guess he don't care about this one because I want Shayla to go slap off, and and that would be that video will have very good views. Kenyatta says Shayla forgets about all her daily disrespect. Yeah, she does. And Juanita says baby Kai don't like Denisha at all. He don't know her. He doesn't know this woman. That boy has been sheltered. He's been Shayla, Anthony. He's only been around a few people, and he's sheltered. He don't know all these people. Juanita says, you got that right, Miss B. Don't take my child around somebody I don't like. It's gonna be a problem. And we know that with Shayla, it's a problem. Angela says, Kenyatta, Anthony knows exactly who Shayla is. He should have not brought Kai to Shayla's house. And Shayla don't care what she say in front of any man, woman, or child. That is for sure. She was cool in the beginning, but she's not cool. But she got uncool when Anthony went back in that house. She was like, The minute they got in that room, her voice was raised. And I guess they did that so that we could hear the argument. But y'all could have left it outside. Y'all could have went back outside and argued some more. And Sunita said most of the step mothers look out for the child, not the stepchildren. So most mothers don't want them children around them. It's just you don't. It's the dynamic. Sunita said, "Just Dolly." And then Dolly said, "Juanita, don't take my child around no strangers." Hey, Simply Abby, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well on this Sunday. Simply Abby says, "Hey, Miss B and family, hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm catching up on this after I watched yesterday's." Okay, that's okay. You need to watch these, girl. You got to watch those skits for today, cause they are wild this morning. You know, we get a wild day and we get a slow day, and they just decided to wild out on Sunday. And Kenyatta said, "Baby Kai is smart. You have him around. You have to be around him for him to like you." Yeah, he's a child. Most children, you have to be around them in order for them to know you and to like you. Just like pets, you bring a stranger in your house. You got a dog. That dog coming up to that person and checking them out. And Simply Abby says, "Nothing could make me watch Annie Shaylee or Denisha when Amber isn't around. So lately, even Amber, I don't watch when they making her interact with the Vipers or other silly." Oh, seems silly. Yeah, you don't watch when they're doing the podcast? Well, Juanita saying hi to Abby. Abby's speaking back. Thanks. Dolly says we had 25 watching, 23 likes. Thank you for keeping us up there. Angela saying hey to Sipley. And Serena saying, "Well, Miss B, I definitely be supporting your channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully you have already subscribed to the channel." Dolly says, "Is she speaking to Abby?" And Abby speaking to Angela. And Kenyatta says, "So Shayla just want Anthony to come to her house? That's out of order. My husband wouldn't be visiting his kids over a woman's house." So Kenyatta, the thing between Anthony and Shayla and visiting the baby and all that stuff, that's all been settled. That had all been settled. At first, Shayla was not wanting the baby with at Anthony's house with Amber, because she felt like Amber didn't like her. She felt like Amber might do something to Kai. Amber had to kind of talk to Shayla and said, "Hey, I would never do anything to him." And they got okay with each other. And then she was fine with Kai going to Anthony's house. Amber and Anthony was his babysitters at one point. So I mean, every time Shayla needed to do something or go someplace, Kai was at Anthony's house. Kai was at the Dalton house. Well, oh, there it is. I was like, I lost my place. So yeah, she was fine, but now Anthony is introduced a new woman into his life, and Shayla doesn't like this new woman. This new woman doesn't like Shayla, and Shayla has no idea that Kai is at Anthony's house. Anthony said he was taking Kai and both Kais to do some guy things. He said nothing about taking them to his house, and he knew better. Shayla doesn't know that they live there. I don't know who. I don't know how it would work, but yeah. Simply says, Miss Dolly, y'all keep the chat live. Love you. They do. They keep it going. That's one thing about it. They definitely keep it going. Thanks, Serene, for supporting me. That's Angela says, for supporting. Juanita said babies can pick up bad vibes from people. Dolly saying afternoon, and thanks for chatting with Miss B's reviews. Yeah, I thank y'all. I really thank all of y'all because y'all know I'm new to these lives, and I just like I'll step out on faith and go ahead and try to start doing lives because I wanted to do them, but I couldn't figure. I was trying to get it in the live to where a lot of other creators were not. And so I was like, oh, Sunday afternoon, because I know Nanya was like, she can't keep up the 7 day a week thing. So I was like, I'll take 2 days then. I'll take the weekend and you spend time with your husband and do other things. I don't have a husband. So I have, a little, my time is a lot more flexible. Angela says, do you guys remember when Guy used to run from Iman? Yeah, he didn't like Iman. Sure. And Kenyatta says, so okay. Okay, so Kenyatta saying, so Shayla just wants Anthony to spend time with Kai at her house. It's out of order. Shayla had a baby with the married man, so some wives won't allow it. And I've explained that to you already, Kenyatta. That did start, it started that way at the beginning, but it kind of changed over time after Anthony, when he went back to whatever. Dolly said, Juanita, babies and children can. Simply said, Miss Baby Goes podcast meetings are silly, just checking each other over nothing. And now Amber is Tamara's protective. Y'all heard Amber saying she isn't leaving the podcast. That was definitely for the viewers. Yeah, we did. We heard her. Well, hopefully, when they get the podcast off the ground, it will be something. I don't know how it's going to work. And Denisha, what I get all of these confused. Delicia over here fronting like she has no secrets, but she got some secrets, and she is teetering on blowing up Lauren's spot, but Lauren's gonna blow up hers also. So that will be interesting because then her and Lauren will not be friends. And King doesn't want her to be Lauren's friend, but Denisha is Delicia is loyal to Lauren. Dolly says, you're welcome. You're welcome, Dolly. You're always on it. Um, Angela Atkins says, can you, I don't like Shayla, but I won't bash her for this one. At least Shayla know Amber, but she didn't know what type of person Denisha is. So when it comes to Kai, I'm with Shayla. That is the truth. That's definite. And simply said, Shayla even admitted it deep down. She knew Amber would never do anything to Kai, but she even fought Evelina about it. And the difference is Shayla knew it wasn't in Amber's character to hurt a child. Yeah, and she knows Amber. That's the difference between Amber and Denisha. She wouldn't approve of Denisha. It's like, when that happens, people have in real life, people have you have a conversation with the other person and get their views on it and what's going on. And the situation is new. You just don't subject children to all that. I understand Big Kai's father is not in the picture, and Denisha is his sole parent, and she makes all the decisions for him. But baby Kai has two parents, and one parent should never make both decisions for him. It's crazy. It's just Anthony, you on something that we don't even know about. Have you been drinking? And what they say, are you dumb or are you stupid? Because you got to be both and getting on it. Really? You are kin to the Bless Brothers at this point. And you don't know who I am. You're dumb. Kenyatta says, Angela, I don't give Shayla no grace here. I get it. I get it. People don't like Dolly saying good morning and Kenyatta speaking, but yeah. And Angela saying Kenyatta, not Shayla, but Kai. Kenyatta saying Angela, Shayla trusts Tamara. And if it were an issue, Tamara would have told her. Tamara don't know what's going on for real. Tamara don't know that that girl living in Anthony's house. She don't know. I don't even know if Tamara knew that Denisha used to be a stripper. I don't know if she knows any of that. I don't know that Tamara really knows her whole background. I don't know. Dolly says, remember how Anthony reacted when he saw Iman holding Kai? He was about to have a fit. But now you got this baby. It simply said, Kenyatta, this is the same song Shayla been singing. Annie. I just realized what you call it, Anthony Annie. Annie has never been a good father. If anything, Amber helped create a good co-parenting situation and environment for Kai. Annie always used Kai to hurt Amber. True. And Amber did create that good co-parenting because she agreed that she was okay with Kai coming over there and that she would watch him. And Amber loved Kai from the beginning. And she, because she had a bond with that baby while Shayla was carrying him, and she had another bond with him when he was born, and they were in there together in that pool when she helped birth him. So yeah, she had a bond with Kai that was truly unbreakable, even though her and Shayla didn't like each other. That bond was going to be there between her and Kai no matter what. And she was not going to hurt him. But that's not the same with Delisi. What's her name? Denisha. And Anthony should recognize that. But again, he's just dumb and stupid. Oh, Kenya, don't worry about it. Because the other posts, it looked like some of them had posted duplicate. And I was like, I don't know what happened, but I've seen some duplicates on here. And Dolly says, thanks simply, Abby. And Abby and Kenyatta saying, Abby, I'm sure I'm sick of this story. We're getting the spinoff. We're getting the spinoff. And Angela says, I'm glad Ernestine stand on business with Trey because he don't want to come back so he can sneak in the other Johnsons. So did she kick him away from it, made him leave from around her house because he was out there like a fool laying on the car. Barry says Lauren have to deal with Dan because he doesn't have anything to lose. Yeah, she got nothing to lose, and she's trying. Lauren plays a dangerous game, and Dolly says, "I don't agree with what Shayla did. However, a mother will protect their child. True that." And Antoinette says, "But it seems like Wayne like what Anthony is doing." Well, we know Wayne is in charge of these skits, and Amber's probably on a vacation someplace because we really haven't seen her, and we've only seen her talking on the phone to old Danielle. Danielle's so needy, poor thing. And she didn't have any other friends. Because this is odd. She didn't have any friends before she met Amber. Because Amber seems to be the friend. Because you can introduce another friend from someplace, but guess we probably wouldn't want to see her friend unless her friend was a little spicy or something. And Barry says Lauren should have closed things with Dan before the start or cross the line with Wayne. Barry, you know better. I can't think of you know better. This is the skits. This is Wayne skit land. Nobody closes one door. They keep one door wide open and they walk through that one and then they open up the next door. And the next one, you know how those houses, the scary houses or something. That's what I'm thinking about, like at the Halloween things where you got to go through all these different doors and then there's a brick wall at the end of it. So they just keep opening up doors until they hit the brick wall. That's basically what these people are doing. Ain't nobody closing no door behind them. And Dolly says Shayla knows Kai is safe with Amber regardless of how Shayla acts. It's true. Kenyatta says, so Shayla knew Iman for 2 days and boom, he's a stepfather. The devil's standards are too much. I get it, Kenyatta. And yeah, it was Anthony did not agree for Anthony did not agree for Iman to be around Kai. When Iman first came on the scene, Anthony did not want Iman around Kai. And Anthony go over there, he would make sure that he was saying something about Iman being around Kai. He didn't appreciate it at all. And I think as the audience, most of us were like, you shouldn't have that man around your child because you don't know whether you know where this is going. So I think it was not a double standard. It was the same thing that Iman was not appreciated. But see, Shayla don't know that Anthony got her son around Denisha. She doesn't know that. I don't think anyway. And I haven't seen all the skits this morning. The last one I saw was where her and Anthony had the argument in the room. So I don't know if Anthony talked to Denisha and told her that he was bringing Kai to the house. But then if he did, there should have been some type of woman to woman interaction between Shayla and Denisha, approving of that relationship. And then Shayla wouldn't have felt the way she did with Anthony bringing Big Kai to her house. So there was no kind of discussion between these people. And that's what I'm saying. Is like I understand where you're going, Kenyatta, but there was as far as I know Anthony didn't approve of Iman being around that boy. He did not like Iman around that boy. He would go off almost every time he went over there and let Iman be holding Kai. Like, get my son out of your arms. He did not approve of it. And I don't think there was a double standard from the audience. And Dolly said, Facebook says Anthony is the blessed brother. He kind of seems like one. He seems like one. Simply Abby says, yes, Barry, but that's too logical for Wayne to write. And moreover, nothing is going to happen. Dan is going to go away or be arrested. Wayne is going to lock in with Lauren. He loves a damsel in distress. He better not write Dan to go to jail because we kind of gotten used to Dan. Dan crazy. Dan gonna come back with what's her name? Mr. Big Boy wife. That's who he gonna hook up with. Simply says, Miss B, you going down the history of Kai pisses me off. They played in that lady's face something vicious, especially when she was the godmother, the baby shower, and Shayla and Annie were truly diabolical. Yes, they were. But the thing is, that's why Amber would not never have done anything to Kai. It's because when you're with this person while they're pregnant and you're loving on her as she's your sister and that's her baby, and it was a whole lot to take in for when she did find out that that was Anthony's child. And I think Amber's response to Kai was more out of hatred for Anthony and Shayla than it was for the baby, because the baby didn't do anything. Kai was just a baby. But yeah, so we can't say the same thing that Amber loves. Dolly says Amber loves Kai. Yeah, she does. Dolly says, Sylvia, it took us back down a sad memory for Amber. It did, but sometimes we got to use those sad memories to know what's going on today. And there's a big difference. The difference is in real life, you would never, ever. I know Nanya likes the real life and the skit life, but in real life, nobody would ever pull that stunt that Anthony pulled today. It's not going to work. You would have two women. Shayla should have cussed. Shayla did get him, and Denisha should have got him when he came home. Now I don't know if she's going to get him later or not, but she should have been checking him also to put her son, in that situation. Simply simply said the vision board sisters, Melissa and Danielle, are just as crazy as their mother. They're all high strung, unstable, super needy, and hysterical. I feel bad for you. Call the man Ronald Reagan their father. Yeah, they are all some high strung women. Lord, and they are super needy. Oh, Dollar, their haunted houses. I knew it was something. I knew y'all would get it when I said you keep opening the doors until you hit the brick wall. Angela says, checks given out today. Denisha checking Anthony for making Shayla disrespect Kai. Yes, she should be. Checks going out today. She should be checking him big time. Kenyatta says Amber Wayne has been checking for Lauren since he met her. He has. He's been checking for her since he met her. He had just got with Tamara, and then he was checking for Lawrence. Wayne is one of those men that he's always looking for the next one. Angela says you guys need to see Denisha humble Anthony. Did she humble him? I hope she did, because I definitely want to review that particular skit. Abby says, yes, Kenyatta, but people want to act like this is out of nowhere because it's Tamara. It's not just because Wayne liked Lauren the moment he met her and Delicia was on board. Now she's acting brand new. Delicia is, I'm not, she doesn't particularly like Tamara in the way that it's being portrayed. Delicia is still thinking that if they cross Tamara, Wayne may still have enough respect for Tamara to stop that podcast. And I think that's why Delicia is acting the way she's acting, because she thinks that maybe he would stop that podcast for Tamara. He wouldn't do it for Lauren, but I think she thinks that he would stop it if something went with Tamara. I don't know. And that's what Delicia is trying to protect her money, because it seems as though Lamont not there no more. I don't know if he's still sending them checks or not, but Shayla seems to still be happy. So Checks must still be hitting the board. The direct deposit must still be hitting in La La Land. Dollar says when Wayne first saw Lauren at Iman's, he was smitten by her while he was with Tamara. Yeah, he was. Definitely. Kenyatta says there's a new skit. Denisha checks Anthony. Great. She's supposed to check him because he be acting stupid. Kenyatta says there's okay, everybody's saying that there's a new skit. Oh God. So Denisha says Anthony have not seen crazy. She will rearrange Shayla's money looking face. Anthony looked defeated. No, Denisha, don't put your anger toward Shayla. Put your anger toward Anthony for taking your son over there. Shayla didn't go get your child. Anthony took him. She just checked in. Did he apologize to her? And Dolly says Denisha told Tamara that didn't have anything to do with her. Now Anthony involved her son in his mess. Yes. And Tyrone Anthony says Angela, she showed him the other side of her. I'm so happy for her. She's supposed to because you put her child. You put your child in the mess, but Anthony just could drug him along. And Angela says, Kenyatta, this is all on Anthony for bringing that poor innocent child in this mess. It is. And Angela says, hey, Tyrone, Anthony plays stupid games and wins stupid prizes. Yes, he does. Tyrone says, hey, yep, these folks. So I'm so glad that they had a skit for Denisha checking Anthony. But don't get mad at Shayla because Shayla was at her house minding her business. And Anthony was the one that went over there doing Anthony was the one that went over there acting a fool. It wasn't Shayla at all, but she was going to talk mess. That's definite. Simply says Miss B, you know, one thing I give Shayla props for is knowing that it's always Anthony causing mess. She used to be delusional and angry at Amber, just like Tamara, but the man is always the catalyst. Yeah, she used to think it was all Amber. Well, see, the grass was greener when she was outside looking in until she got in with Anthony and she realized it's Anthony. Angela said Denisha, as a mom, should have known this would be messy because she's living in a married woman's house and expected to have a peaceful home. It's crazy though how they did that. He just moved that woman in there and she moved in. You'd never, I would be uncomfortable moving into a house that another woman even once lived in, even after they got divorced. I would probably be kind of uncomfortable living in that house with that man. Of course, we'd have to be married or something, but I wouldn't want to live in that house because you don't want, and that's why a lot of people when they get divorced and they get with somebody else or they get married, they get remarried, you're selling that house and you're buying a new house because the spirits that are in that house, you don't want a part of you. And the spirits that are in Anthony's house, Denisha and her son do not need to be there. They need to be in their own house. and a different place. Anthony go buy a new house and rent that one out or let it stay vacant, but don't put them into that house with all that negative energy and all those negative spirits, because that house got some stuff going on inside of it. It was the scene of the crime. Oh Lord, I just laughed. It was like it was the scene of the crime with Shayla seducing that man in that house and all the things that have followed. That's a crime scene. And Angela says, "What if Amber decides to come back home? Big guy gonna hear way more than he's supposed to." Oh yeah, big guy gonna be outside. Big guy would be asking his mother, "Can he go to his aunt's house so he could eat Popeyes?" He'll be like, "Let me go over auntie's. I'll eat the Popeyes." Because he's not going to want to be involved in any of that. That room probably don't mean enough to him for him to be hearing all that negative stuff. Sunita says, Denisha just checked Anthony. It was fun. Only thing he can say is, I'm sorry. Of course, that's all you can say, but you always sorry. As Amber says, yes, you are sorry. And Shayla says, yeah, you are sorry. Angela says, Anita, Anthony is the I'm sorry king. Yeah. It's like that's what his wife and his baby mama always tell him, you are sorry. And simply says, Angela, exactly. The writing on the wall, even Shayla, all that shouting, Kai grew up around. That's why I used to be annoyed when she tried to check Amber about her and Annie fighting in front of Kai. Me too. I used to be the same way. I didn't want y'all fighting in front of Kai. Don't be doing that. And as many times as you held that baby in your arms and yelled and screamed at Anthony, and you always was holding him because you didn't want to give him up because you didn't want nobody to bop you upside the head. So you had Kai protecting you, but you want to tell somebody else don't argue in front of him, and then you go in the bedroom and we hear your whole conversation. I know it was intended, but still. Alexa says Tamara's gonna make Wayne. Oh, he gonna make with the guy from Miami. Oh yeah, Tamara, post some pictures. And no, what can happen is how they can do this. Let Dan post the pictures, because that's Dan's boy too, and that's King's boy. So yeah, and then let Wayne call Iman and tell them, oh, they down in Miami having fun, or they coming to Atlanta. Oh yeah, Wayne will be jealous because you know he don't like giving up control. And Lioness says women like Denisha don't care as long as she gets hers. She cares about her son, though, I believe. And Sunita is laughing again. He said, Angela. Dolly says maybe Tamara will move on from Wayne because Wayne has moved on with Lauren. I hope so. She, even if she don't like the man all that much, at least get yourself out, put yourself back out there. You don't have to date him, but you could just put yourself back out there and date somebody. And Barry says Amber can use that as Anthony's downfall, and she can let the courts handle it. Yeah, she can, if they ever get to court. If they ever get to court, y'all see the way that Libby and Terry's mediation is. I could only imagine Amber and Anthony's mediation. I hope they let us in on that because it's a mess. It's gonna be a mess. Because Terry done brought what's her name, Genesis, up to the mediation meeting. He knew that would set Libby off. Sunita says, look, the look on Anthony's face when Denisha walked out saying, what is this I put myself in? Oh, no, 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 Denisha, you can't say that. No, you can't do that, girl. You, it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm good. I'm down. See, your friend telling you, don't you call Tamara and say nothing to her because she going to say, I told you so. Anthony always saying he's sorry. That's all he can say. Angela says, Lioness, she better care because she can't get mad when the argument start in front of him and he put that child in it. Yep. It's Anita laughing again. She laughing at everybody. Oh Lord. Angela says, Denisha better pray Amber decides to stay away because let me see if she gonna rearrange Amber's face for her marital home. She ain't gonna do nothing to Shayla because Shayla didn't put her son in that situation. Anthony did. Dolly says Denisha might do worse to Anthony than Shayla did if he crosses her the wrong way. Miss Anita said Anthony is just stupid. This child is going to be uncomfortable. He is. After that, he will be uncomfortable. Lioness said Angela, Denisha put her child in this, and she did. And she let that fool have free reign with her child. Sunita, she knew what she put herself in because Tamara told her, and she said it has nothing to do with her. To what she think was going to happen because she didn't. Dolly says, remember, Wayne said Denisha's a nice girl. We know what Wayne said. Wayne always got some flip thing to say. And Denisha just told Anthony that she was used to be a stripper and a bartender. So yeah, she a good girl. She's a good girl. All of them good girls. Sunita said Denisha put her child in this mess. Abby says, Dolly, Annie deserves anyone who puts him through half the mess he put Amber through. He was calculated and sadistic, how he always crushed Amber and enjoyed her pain. He deserves 10 times Shayla and Denisha. And that is so true, Abby. I was saying earlier that I did a review about I put it was labeled the Dalton's future and I posted it right before I went live and it talks about how Anthony did not like Amber. He actually hated Amber this last time, as everyone says. Once she after she left that door open after he cooked the dry salmon and she left the door open for him to come in, from that point on he started punishing her and he was putting her through pain from that point forward. He did not like her. He has not liked her. I don't care what they did, that renewal, and that vow renewal meant nothing to Anthony, nothing at all, because he wanted to punish Amber. And that's what he was doing. He's been doing it all along. And Angela says exactly, Lioness. Now she's mad. Don't be mad because he knew her son was going to catch a stray. Mm-hmm. She didn't realize he was going to catch a stray, but he got one. Lioness said if she cared about her son, Denisha would have never put him in there. True that. Dolly said, Abby, Anthony's bringing all this on himself. He's bringing it on Denisha too. And Abby says Denisha about to be tired. Her and Shayla are the same person, so they're going toe to toe. It's going to be crazy. Their love is in the pits of hell. But let's be the bottom feeder will win. Bet the bottom feeder will win. We don't know which one feeds lower at the bottom, but yeah, we don't know. Those would be some good skits between Shayla and Denisha though. Yeah. Anthony, this is just start for nobody's gonna feel sorry for you now. And Dolly saying Anthony is full of sorries and still keeps doing things. He don't have no sense. Dolly says, I need Jarvis to come to Atlanta ASAP to see Tamara. I think the plan is for Jarvis. I thought the plan was for Jarvis to come to Atlanta, but I don't think Delicia doesn't want him to come to Atlanta because that means King will come to Atlanta and he'll find out where she lives. And she don't want Iman to pop up. So she's trying to keep King away from Atlanta. But Dan knows where she lives at. And Dan can tell because King is that kind of dude that he's gonna keep giving her the rope. And she gonna hang herself soon. She's gonna be mad when she mess up with King. Boy, she gonna be mad. Angela Tamara should get King. Yeah, let Tamara get with King. Because King got it going on. Angela says simply, Denisha went there thinking Anthony had control over everybody. But did she really think he had control over everybody? Because she knew he didn't have control over Amber. I think their first interaction told her that he didn't have control over them. He had control over none of them. Piari, Shayla, Amber, none of them. As Sunita, Denisha came over. Anthony thinks she found gold, but she's gonna be sorry. Yeah. Sunita with these emojis. Dolly said King told Delicia that him and Jarvis need to come to Atlanta. Yeah, he did, but I think she was trying to talk him out of coming to Atlanta because she don't know when Iman's gonna pop up, and of course Iman got the key to that house, so he can come in at any time. Angela says Sunita exactly. She wanted peace in another woman's house. Don't work, don't work. And Sunita said, yes, Angela, but she's going to be sorry. And Dolly said, Wayne told Natasha that Libby traumatized him. Libby traumatizes everybody, and she traumatized Terry. Terry deserves to be traumatized. Angela said, Denisha think Anthony's house was a peaceful house. Girl, welcome to Shayla and Amber's world. Welcome to their nightmare. Abby said that Annie is the weakest man. That's why he pretends to be. That's why he pretends to be a big bad wolf, and that's why it's easy for his frenemy Wayne to punk him and play him. All that talking about himself in the third person. So he does. I'm Anthony Dalton. You don't know who I am. Y'all forget who I am. Well, we don't know who you are. You're dumb and you're stupid. And Sadita said, Denisha thinks it's finished, but Shayla mother and sister coming. If I was Shayla and Shayla don't know that Kai's at that house, if Shayla knew Kai was at that house and Denisha's there, they would have been there already. Shayla pull up quick. Sadita said, game over, Anthony. And Dolly is saying 100, Abby. So Abby said, Angela, even Shayla, and everyone be jealous of that home, not knowing it's empty and cold. Amber made it a home. Without her, that haunted house would be a cruel, selfish man who had lost all control. And right now, it is definitely a haunted house because all the cruel things that went on in that house, the cruel way that Anthony treated Amber. And Dolly says Anthony's motive to get back into that house was to move his money and put Amber through all kinds of nonsense. It was, most definitely. Well, guys, what time is it? It's 2:02. We right on the head. We're right on the nose. I enjoyed you guys. I enjoyed our chats today. Thank everybody who stopped by and who came in. I really appreciate it. We're getting these things going. I for the next few weeks I will be here, so I'll be on live. The next few weeks, the end of August. No, August, well, August 1st, I won't be because we have our family reunion, but then I will be until the end of August. I don't have any plans for those weekends, but yeah, I'll let you guys know ahead of time. But I know right now, August 1st, I won't be live because we're having our family reunion unless I come early in the morning. And if early in the morning before I go out there is good with y'all, then I'll do the live early in the morning and like at 9 o'clock in the morning and just do an hour, 9 to 10 or something like that. But anyway, I enjoyed every last one of you. I enjoyed our chats. I enjoyed us beating up on beating up on Anthony. And hey, Nancy, yeah, watch the replay. We beat up on Anthony, most definitely. But I thank all of you. We had a good little crowd. Like we don't have a big crowd yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So the more I get consistent with this, the more I will oh, Abby, you talking about you just fell out when I said we don't know you, sir. It's like you dumb and stupid, and truer words have never been spoken. Yeah, he is dumb and stupid. But I had one more thing I wanted to say. I wanted to see. Oh, that was Dolly. She said that was what I thought that Tamara should have met King. The way they switching off men, she could still meet him and take him from Denisha. Denisha and took Shayla, man. So why not somebody take King? She not really seeing him. King want a woman, and Tamara would be very good for King. She wouldn't be trying to get all up in his pockets on a regular basis. Okay, Nancy, and Dolly says Terry deserved all he's getting from two-time women. Yeah, he did. He did it to Dominique. Now he did it to what they say, a leopard don't change his spots or something like that. But yeah, he was doing it before. I guess that's why they call him Terry two times. He two times women. All right. Hey Clarissa, that's okay. That's okay, Clarissa. You came in and said hello. That's um that's what's important. Thank you, Angela. I'm trying to build the crowd. We're getting there. To my Delicia, she don't want King. She think Iman is the prize. But okay, I'm gonna get off of here, guys. Y'all have a great rest of your day. And I'm going over here to watch Denisha check Anthony. I might do a review about that one. All kind of things were defiled in that house, Dolly, and that house is defiled at this point. It's too much. All right, guys, I will see you out in these YouTube streets. I might join one of Nanya's lives or something like that. I don't know if I might go into the wind down later on tonight. I'm sure most of you will be there. So I'll talk to you later on. I'll see you somewhere. You too, Dolly, and thank you so much.